This is Algebra 1B, Part 2, Unit 3, Rational Expressions and Functions, Lesson 3, Dividing Polynomials. So you may recall here, to divide polynomials, we're going to do a little bit of factoring and reducing. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to divide the following polynomials here. Let's divide 7x squared plus 14x. Let's divide that by x squared plus 2x. Okay. To divide, you can write it like this, or you can write it like this: 7x squared plus 14x all over x squared plus 2x. Okay. So have you ever noticed that the division symbol looks like a fraction? A dot, something over something? That's because it actually is. It is a fraction. Fractions and division are the same thing. It's the numerator divided by the denominator. In fact, if you want to turn a fraction into a decimal, you divide. Okay, the same thing applies here. So let's factor here. Let's look for a greatest common factor. I notice on the top, on the numerator, that both terms have an x, and both terms are multiples of 7, so I'm going to take out a 7. So let's factor the greatest common factor. 7 divided by 7 is 1. I don't need to write the 1. X to the second minus x to the 1. X to the 2 minus 1 is x to the 1. So I don't need to write the 1. 14 divided by 7 is 2. So plus 2. And x divided by x is 1. And it just cancels out. Okay. And notice both of these have an x, so I'm going to pull out an x. And we have what's left, x plus 2. X plus 2. Okay, and now we can simplify by canceling what is on top and bottom. There's an x plus 2 on top and bottom, and there's an x on top and bottom. And so the result here is just 7. That this equals 7. I believe that's pretty much it for this lesson. That's the idea. Take a polynomial and divide by another polynomial. Okay. And then do a little factoring and simplifying. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah. There is a little bit more actually here as I look at the example. Okay. If we divide a polynomial by a monomial like this, we take 4x cubed plus 10x squared plus 3a, I think that's a typo, 3x plus 3x. And we want to divide this by 2x squared. We can write it just like I did before as a fraction, 4x cubed plus 10x squared plus 3x, all over 2x squared. Now here's where one trick that may not occur to you. If I have fractions and I want to add them, okay, like if I have 1/4 plus 3/4, that equals 1 plus 3/4. Right? Or 4/4. But the key is that we add the numerators and keep the same denominator. Well, the reverse is true as well. We can write this as 1/4 plus 3/4. We can write it as two separate fractions going backwards. Same thing here. So this is three separate fractions. 4x cubed over 2x squared plus 10x squared over 2x squared plus 3x over 2x squared. And then simplify each rational expression. X to the third, so 4 divided by 2 is 2. X to the third over x to the second is x to the 3 minus 2, or x to the 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. X squared over x squared cancels. And then 3 over 2 doesn't simplify, so I'm just going to write 3 over 2. And then x goes in the denominator because 2 is bigger than 1, and we subtract 2 minus 1. So this is the result of dividing the polynomial. Okay. Now there is also long division with polynomials. Let's take a look at that here. Okay. So let's do a long division problem here. Let's say I've got 4x squared plus 7x minus 6 divided by x minus 5. Okay, divided by x minus 5. So I would write it like this: 4x squared plus 7x minus 6. And I would put long division in front, x minus 5. And this is the same as regular long division with numbers. I first guess. X times what is 4x squared? Well, I'd have to multiply x by 4, and I'd have to multiply x by x, because 4x times x is 4x squared. So that's my guess. I then multiply and write the answer underneath. 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times 5 is minus 20x. I then change the signs and add, which is how you subtract. 4x, whoops, change the signs, minus 4x squared. Okay, and plus 20x. Change the signs. 4x squared minus 4x squared is no x squared. 7x plus 20x is 27x. Bring down the next term. And now x times what is 27x? It's 27. Multiply 27 times x. 27 times 5. That's 135. Subtract, which means change both signs. And add. 27x minus 27x is 0. 135 and negative 6 is 129. And so I write my remainder as this: 129 over x minus 5. And there is my final answer. Okay, so that's long division.